How you doing? This is my PC. It's a Dell Dimension series. Had it for about 2 years. I recently decided to buy a Mac Mini, which is an entry-level Macintosh computer that's marketed towards people that want to switch from a PC. And the reason why it's marketed is because, well, number one, it doesn't come with a monitor, doesn't come with a keyboard, mouse, or anything like that. So it's at a pretty low price point. You can just kind of bring it right into the monitor, keyboard, mouse that you have from your PC. And then another neat thing about it, which you'll see in a second, so it's pretty small. So here's the Mini, and I'm here to do an honest comparison, PC versus Mac, without falling into the bandwagon of what comes from Apple's marketing scheme, which I think is pretty ridiculous. I mean, yeah, the commercials are funny and all, but they need to be concentrating on the strong points of their machines, and instead of, you know, just making fun of their competition. So we're here to do an honest comparison between the two. So the size, you'll obviously see that the PC is a lot bigger, and that allows, on the positive side, for more expansion. I'm not going to fit a second hard drive in that Mini no matter what I want to do with it. I actually have two in the PC. You see that I have two CD-ROM drives here too, and well, there's a reason for that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But as far as performance is concerned, these two machines are pretty much equal. They both have 80 gig internal drives. They both have 512 megabytes of RAM. If you've ever done any reading on the processor speeds between Macs and PCs, you'll know that the numbers kind of don't add up. They're not directly comparable. The PC over here has a Intel Celeron processor. It's 2.4 gigahertz. The Mini is 1.4. It technically should be a lot quicker than the PC. It's actually faster. Noticeably faster. I don't want to say quite a bit, but it's definitely faster than the PC in any given task. So, while we're still around the front over here, let's talk about the CD-ROM drives. The reason why I have two over here on the Dell is because in stock form, this top drive is the one that it came with. The only thing that thing does is read CDs. It won't read DVDs, it won't burn CDs, it won't burn DVDs, it won't do anything. So I took one of another machine that I had, that one on the bottom over there burned CDs. So right now, although it's not in stock form, the Dell can burn CDs. I think this one will probably read DVDs as well. The Mini we have over here, I'll put it on the top so we can see a little bit better. We call it a slot load drive. CD goes right in the front over there. There's two types of slot load drives that come with Macs. The first one is a combo drive, and the second one is a super drive. So the combo drive will read DVDs, read CDs, it will burn CDs. The super drive, which is what is actually loaded in this machine right here, will do all that, and in addition it will burn DVDs. So out of the box, no matter which type drive you have with the Macintosh, it does more than what both of these drives can do in the Dell. So that's definitely a plus. And let's go around the back and see what we got going on over here. In the back of the Dell, we got a lot of connections. We have a monitor, printer connection. We got a keyboard and mouse ports over here. These are called PS2 connections. We'll talk about that in a minute. We got some audio in and outs. We got some USB hubs. We have an Ethernet port over here. Not a lot going on the back of the Mini. We have our power button back here. This is an input for the power brick. It does come with a small power brick that's about the width of the unit, maybe 1 inch by 2 inch. Did the depth in with Ethernet port over here. This would be a modem, which is not installed on this machine, but a lot of the Minis do come with it. And this is a monitor out. This is what we call a DVI connection. There's also, if I can find where the heck I put it, little DVI to VGA, which is a different type of monitor port converter. This comes with the computer, so we can plug it into any type of monitor that we have. Let's see, and then we got two USB ports, and we have a FireWire port. Notice that there's no FireWire on the Dell. Speaker out. This here is a little security slot if you want to buy a security thing to lock the computer down if you work in an office or something like that. So what you'll notice is that the Dell over here has a pretty good amount of USB ports. We've got 4 of them. Mini only has 2. And again, I want to stress that this is an older Mini. The newer ones, if you went and bought one at the Mac store or bought it online today, if it wasn't used, it would have 4 USB ports as opposed to just 2. But 2, you know, if you happen to buy an older used Mini like me and it's a G4 version like this one, 2 isn't really enough to get by on for most people. If you know, you have a digital camera, maybe an iPod, maybe a USB printer, you're kind of out of luck. You need what they call a USB hub, which plugs into the machine, and it's kind of like an expansion. It has more ports. So let's talk a little bit about ports, actually. The reason why 2 is not going to be enough is this. Let's go over here. We got our keyboard. One of the strong points of this mini machine is that it's nice and cheap, and we can use our Dell monitor, use our Dell keyboard, and we can even use our Dell mouse. So the Dell keyboard has what's called a PS2 connection. We saw those on the back of the machine back there. The Mini does not have this connection on the back, so it's a bit of a problem. We cannot plug this keyboard or a regular PS2 mouse into the Mini, but we have 2 solutions that we can do. Number 1 is we can buy a converter, go down to CompUSA or something and buy something that they call it a PS2 to USB converter. You plug this into it, and then it's got a USB port on the other side, connector, and just plugs into the back end of the Mini. So for maybe 15 to 20 bucks, you can get one that you plug a PS2 keyboard and mouse into it, and it plugs into a single USB port in the back of the machine. $15–20 on average. Or I went out and bought a Mac keyboard. Now the Mac keyboard is 30 bucks, $29.99 straight from Mac. I went up to the Mac store in the mall and bought one. And if we flip it over, you'll notice it actually has USB connections on the back. Now these aren't 2.0s, meaning you're not going to be able to power an iPod with them. You're not really going to want to transfer images from a digital camera or use a printer on here. I'm not even sure if you can use a printer with them, but they'll work for a mouse. And you'll notice they're on both sides, so if you're a left-handed freak like me, it's nice and convenient, so you don't have to run wires over from one side to the other. That is the setup that I'm using, so not very hard at all to integrate it into a setup they had set up for a PC. And you know, the Dell I used to keep down here, and I was constantly kicking the thing, and it was kind of always in the way. The Mini fits right up here. So I'm gonna get these wires hooked up in the back, and we'll boot it up. And through the magic of iMovie, I will be with you in a moment. Okay, we are back. Get booted up over here. We're all plugged in, and while that thing's booting up, so like we were saying, the Dell is definitely more expandable. It's a bigger machine. Got some slots back here that we can put extra things in. If we wanted to put I think I neglected to mention the Dell doesn't have wireless or Bluetooth. But we can put we got some expansion slots back here. We can put a wireless card in it. We can put Bluetooth in there, and we can fit an extra internal hard drive in there. Like we showed you, we can put an extra CD-ROM drive in there. So it's definitely pretty expandable. And we're booted up already, by the way. The Mini over here, we can't fit a wireless card in there or a Bluetooth card, but you know what? It's got built-in wireless and Bluetooth already, so we don't need to do that. And we can't fit an extra CD-ROM drive in there, or DVD burner, but you know what? It already has all that built into it already as well. So, and no, we can't fit an extra internal hard drive in there. It's definitely too small for that. But I happen to have an external right over here, and this over here is it's a 160 gigabyte external drive, and I bought it for about $120 last year, new. The price has come down on these quite a bit. I think this particular model is about $80 new now for a 160 gigabyte USB drive. And you know, again, if you get an older Mini and you only have 2 USB ports, you're probably going to need a USB hub, but you know, it's really the only limitation that I see with this older machine. The newer ones again have 4, but you know, that's the deal. So in my opinion, even though it's a lot smaller and not expandable like the PC is, you kind of don't need to. So there it is. I think I'm probably going to do, now that the machine's booted up, do another section, and I'll see you in part 2.